Hey class, I hope you're having a great summer. My name is Mr. Cabasa. I'm one of the art teachers at Alliance High School, and I'm here to show you an art lesson today. Today we're going to make a cityscape, which is an outdoor scene of buildings, and we're going to do it in the style of James Rizzi. James Rizzi was a pop artist during the 1950s and 60s, so that means he would have been making art around the same time as Andy Warhol, if you ever heard about him maybe in your art class before. And James Rizzi is known for making buildings that have human features. So they have smiley faces and noses and eyes and all kinds of cool stuff. We're going to take his style and apply it to make a water reflection. So you're going to use your washable markers today, some Sharpies, pencils, erasers, and then we're going to spray our paper with a little bit of water in order to make this cool reflection. All right, let's get into it. All right, guys, we're ready to start our James Rizzi inspired cityscapes using a water reflection. So the first thing that you're going to have to do is take your paper and you're going to need to fold it hot dog style, which would be like this. So line up your corners. Put a crease in there, and then you can open it back up. So the process we're using here is we're going to draw on the top half of our piece of paper and color that in, and then we're going to apply water to the bottom half and fold it together, and that's going to transfer the image down to the bottom, which will give us the look of a reflection. So to start, we need to draw some building shapes along this top part here. No exact number you need. The buildings can be different shapes and sizes. Make what you think looks good. But I do think you should have it go all the way from edge to edge. So let me go ahead and draw some buildings. I'm just using a pencil right now. So right now I have 5 buildings going across. Sometimes James Rizzi would have buildings behind other buildings. So if you would like to do that, you could add a couple extra ones in the background. So now we have 7 buildings. Let's go with that. All right, so now you need to add some details and make the buildings your own. You can add windows, doors, but to make it really look like a James Rizzi building, you need to put some facial features on there and make it look human-like. So to help you out with that, I made some examples over here on the side of some different inspired eyes that James Rizzi might use. And then I also have some with different noses and some with some different mouths. So let's start with eyes here. Let's go ahead and put eyes on all of our buildings. You can pick from this list if you want. There's some more round shapes, some diamond shapes, square shapes. This would be more of like a glasses kind of look. You can make the eyes looking down or over to the side. If you want to come up with your own designs, that would be great too. See, this one I'm working on right now, I'm going to make him looking over to the side just by making where I draw the pupils and irises over on the side. Another thing you could add if you want is eyelashes. And it's okay to make it go off the page like I'm doing right now. All right, so I have eyes on all my buildings. Now, I'm gonna switch gears and I'm gonna add a nose to every single building. Noses, a lot of times on James Rizzi's drawings, were just simple shapes, you know, like a rectangle or a triangle. Sometimes he would put just two little dots like nostrils. Other times he would use a line that looks like a long nose coming down. Go ahead and pick some off of this list over here or make up your own. Okay, we have noses now. Last thing is adding a mouth. And once again, he had a variety of different kinds of mouths. He would make some of them are open, having teeth and tongues, and then you could color inside of where it would be dark in the mouth black. Sometimes it would just be lips with a line. This one's an example of a tongue sticking out. This would be just an example of some teeth showing. So lots of different possibilities. Go ahead and pick some off of this list or make up your own. All right, so we have mouths on all of our buildings. So the next step is adding some extra building details, such as windows or doors, or maybe you want to add a skyscraper on one of them or multiple ones. It's really up to you, whatever you want. So for windows, I'm just making squares or rectangles and then putting a cross in between. However, you could make windows that are more oval shaped or rounded on the top. You could add a door at the bottom. Feel free to pause this video whenever you want. I'm going kind of fast. Take as much time as you want to do your details though. All right, so now I have everything drawn in pencil the way I like it. So what I'm gonna do now is trace over these lines, because I want these lines to stay nice and dark, with a Sharpie or a permanent marker of some sort. After I do that, I'm then gonna color it with my washable markers. Now, I actually don't have washable markers with me right now. I have just regular Crayola markers, but these work just as well. The markers that you have in your kit will work great. Now, I'm not gonna make you watch me do that entire part. I'll speed up the video for this. But what I'm doing now is tracing it in marker, and then I'm gonna color it with my washable markers. And the sky, I'll make a blue color. And the buildings, it's really whatever color you wanna do. Just be aware that if you make a building the same color as the sky, it's probably not gonna show up that well. All right, guys, so now we're ready to transfer our color down to the bottom so that we can make it look like a reflection. So I have just a damp paper towel right here. If you had a spray bottle, you could spray some water on the bottom that way too. But you want to get this fairly wet. I'm actually squeezing the water out of my paper towel onto the piece of paper. And for this step, I definitely recommend that you have something underneath your piece of paper so that you don't get any marker on your table. All right, once you have it nice and wet, you're gonna fold it down, and then you're gonna take a dry paper towel, which I forgot to grab, so let me use this piece of paper right here. And you want to squeegee this out. And then peel it back, and you should be able to see your image transfer. So it looks like your buildings are on the top, and you now have a water reflection on the bottom. And if you get an area like this where you feel like it didn't transfer that well, you can put a little bit more water there and apply some pressure, and that'll take care of that. All right, there you have it. There's your James Rizzi cityscape with a water reflection. Hope you guys had fun. Have a great summer.